It's not by chance that you're viewing this video. There's a reason you're here. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Trust the timing of your life and know that you're being led to where you're meant to be. As you stumble on this video, perhaps not by chance, it will serve to awaken your spirit. There are no coincidences in the realm of the spirit. If you have been noticing unusual movements in your eyes, such as flashes of light, brief glimmers, or an unusual glow in your reflection, know that it is not your imagination. These are spiritual signs. Your spirit is awakening, and what you are experiencing is not merely biological, it is prophetic. Heaven is sending you subtle indicators that your soul is beginning to shift into alignment with your divine identity. Your eyes, the windows to your soul, are revealing the transformation that is taking place within the spiritual realm. Let us go deeper and break this down into 7 spiritual confirmations chapters. Clear signs that what you are witnessing is undeniable proof that your awakening has begun. Before we explore these insights, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe. This is not merely a message, it is a spiritual awakening in motion. These words serve as a mirror for your soul and a divine confirmation from the Most High that your spiritual sight is shifting, your inner being is stirring, and your destiny is being activated. If your soul resonates with this frequency, I encourage you to type 77 in the comments right now. That number is not a coincidence. It is a divine code, a heavenly signal that your third eye is opening, your perception is evolving, and your inner vision is coming into alignment with your higher calling. Not everyone is meant to understand this message, and not everyone will reach the end of it. But if you do, it signifies that you are among the few, the spiritually sensitive, the truly chosen. As you continue to engage with this message, you will begin to unlock the deeper mysteries behind why your eyes have been revealing signs that others cannot perceive. This message is not merely meant to be heard, it is meant to be felt. It is not just a video, it is a living revelation. Each time you return to it, a new layer of truth will be activated, and a fresh spiritual key will be released into your awareness. So return as often as your spirit leads you, for with every visit, your awakening will deepen, and your spiritual vision will become even sharper. So let us start. Chapter 1. Your eyes are seeing beyond the physical. Chosen one, when your spirit begins to awaken, something subtle, yet profoundly supernatural, starts to occur. Your physical eyes no longer function in the same way. They cease to be merely biological instruments of sight and instead become sacred tools of perception. They begin to register what your spiritual eyes have long known, but your conscious mind has only just begun to recognize. You may start noticing brief flickers of light, sudden glimmers, or unexplained flashes. At times, it may appear as a shimmer in the corner of your eye. Other times, a light may move across your vision with no visible source. These experiences are not technical malfunctions, nor are they tricks of the imagination. Rather, they are sacred glimpses, brief windows into a deeper realm that has been surrounding you all along. In this awakening, heaven is gently lifting the veil between dimensions, allowing you to perceive realities that were once hidden. Your sight is no longer limited to the physical, it is expanding into the spiritual. What you once considered odd or unexplainable is now beginning to make perfect spiritual sense. You are being introduced to a new frequency of awareness, a higher dimension of perception. Your eyes are learning to decode the presence of the divine. You are beginning to perceive movements from the invisible realm, angelic activity, spiritual messages, shifts in energy, and divine encounters. You are no longer merely observing the physical world. You are beginning to sense what is unfolding behind the veil of reality. God is training you, gently, intentionally. Little by little, your vision is becoming sanctified. You are no longer confined to natural sight. You are being called into the realm of the supernatural. While others remain distracted by what lies on the surface, you are learning to discern the whispers beneath the noise, the patterns hidden within the chaos, and the divine presence behind physical form. This is the gift of spiritual sight. It is not fantasy, it is frequency. You are tuning into a sacred wavelength that most overlook, simply because they have silenced their spirit for far too long. But your spirit has been reawakened, and now your eyes are beginning to catch up. You are starting to recognize a profound truth. You are never alone. The messengers of God are near, and your awakened sight is beginning to perceive their presence. The atmosphere around you is far more alive than most people realize. You are not merely seeing light, you are seeing life. You are not simply witnessing flashes, you are witnessing divine movement, sacred power, and holy presence. What you are experiencing is confirmation that the spiritual realm is real, and you are being invited to step into it. You are being prepared for deeper vision, chosen one. So do not ignore what your eyes are revealing. Do not dismiss what you see simply because others cannot see it too. You are not losing clarity. You are gaining a higher form of perception. This is not confusion. This is consecration. And your vision is the evidence of your awakening. Chapter 2. Your reflection is changing because your frequency is rising. Chosen one, have you ever looked into the mirror and suddenly paused, not because of your outward appearance, but because of something deeper, something you sensed coming from within? Your eyes appear more focused, more intense. There is a glow within them that wasn't there before, a presence, a quiet fire. This is not vanity, nor is it mere imagination. It is evidence that something powerful is happening within you, and it is beginning to manifest outwardly. Your spirit is rising, and it is starting to break through the limits of your physical form. What you are seeing in your reflection is not just a face, it is a frequency. You are witnessing a version of yourself that is coming into alignment with divine purpose. Your reflection is revealing the transformation of your inner world, the emergence of your higher self. You have been undergoing a spiritual shift, and now your energy is beginning to make that transformation visible. That is why your eyes appear clearer and your face seems more radiant, even on your most exhausted days. It is not merely light reflecting off your skin, it is light emanating from within. God is not only changing your external circumstances, He is transforming your very presence. You are no longer walking in the same vibration you once did. You are now operating on a higher spiritual frequency, and that shift is becoming evident in the way you carry yourself. You are glowing in a way that cannot be fabricated. You are calm in situations where you once would have crumbled. You are confident without needing to prove yourself. This is the visible result of inner alignment, divine elevation, and sacred transformation. That shift within you is now visible, and those around you can sense it, even if they do not fully understand it. Some people find themselves staring at you longer than they used to, not because of your clothing or hairstyle, but because they feel something when they look at you. Some are drawn to it, while others feel unsettled by it. You have become a mirror, and when people look at you, they are confronted with the truth of who they are, especially when measured against who you are becoming. Your energy reveals what has been hidden. Your presence stirs spiritual tension. Yet you are not doing anything extraordinary. You are simply reflecting what God is doing within you. This is the fruit of the secret work, the unseen transformation that is now beginning to shine through. The nights you prayed through pain, the moments you chose silence when you could have defended yourself, the spiritual discipline, the inner healing, the surrender, all of it is now visible in your reflection. This glow did not come from a life of ease. It was forged through endurance. Your calmness is not accidental. It is the result of battles fought and peace hard won. Now, your reflection tells a story that your words never could. You are no longer merely reflecting your environment. You are reflecting heaven. Your spirit radiates through your eyes, and your face carries a glory that comes from having been in the presence of God. Even if no one else fully understands what has changed about you, you know the truth. You do not look the same because you are not the same. Your reflection has become a witness, a testimony, a quiet announcement to the world that your elevation has already begun. And from this point forward, it will only continue to grow. Chapter 3. Light flashes, aura shifts, and divine glitches. Chosen one, have you ever found yourself sitting in a room, perhaps in stillness, in prayer, or deep thought, and suddenly witnessed a quick flash of light with no identifiable source? Maybe it lasted only a second, a sudden flicker in your peripheral vision, a shimmer in the air, or a strange glow that caused you to blink or look again. Some have experienced it while driving, others during worship, and many have encountered it in moments of deep meditation or quiet surrender. These are not malfunctions of your eyes. They are divine interruptions, holy signals often referred to as glitches in the veil. The spiritual world is pressing against your physical reality, and your senses are beginning to perceive it. These light flashes are not ordinary occurrences. They are confirmations, divine nudges and signs that you are in a thin place, a sacred space where heaven feels near and the veil between dimensions is nearly transparent. Many chosen ones also begin to notice subtle color shifts around people or environments. Sometimes it appears as a soft glow, other times as a shimmering aura that seems to move or vibrate with energy. You may not fully understand what you are seeing, but your spirit recognizes its authenticity. These aura shifts often reveal the spiritual atmosphere, signs of peace, tension, divine light, or even hidden darkness. You are not hallucinating. You are discerning. Your sight is being divinely upgraded to interpret the realm that most people never even notice. This level of spiritual perception often intensifies when you have been intentionally seeking God through prayer, through fasting, through obedience, and through stillness. Each time you align more deeply with the will of God, your senses become sharper, not only emotionally or mentally, but spiritually. What was once invisible to you begins to reveal itself with increasing clarity, becoming more obvious, more direct. It is as if God is granting you access to the hidden codes behind creation, allowing you to perceive the programming beneath the pattern, the divine intention behind the visible image. You are no longer merely existing in the world. You are reading it, discerning it, and interacting with the divine frequencies that shape and sustain it. These glitches, the light pulses, aura movements, and subtle distortions in the air, are signals that you are tuning in. You are no longer limited to seeing only what is directly in front of you. You are beginning to perceive what surrounds you, what is behind you, and even what lies within others. You are stepping into a dimension of spiritual intelligence that enables you to read beyond body language and to hear beyond spoken words. Some may call it strange, and others may dismiss it as delusion. But those who are spiritually awakened understand. This is what happens when God begins to unveil the reality of his kingdom, a divine realm operating in parallel with the natural world. The flashes you see are not accidents, they are activations. The aura shifts are not products of imagination, they are insights. The divine glitches are not flaws in reality. They are invitations, sacred reminders that this physical world is not the end, and it never has been. You are existing between two realms, heaven and earth, and your spirit is learning how to navigate both. You are becoming increasingly sensitive to the signals of heaven, even while your feet remain grounded on earth. This is the realm of the prophetic, of discernment, of spiritual vision. It comes with a cost, but it also carries great power. So the next time you witness a flash of light, resist the urge to dismiss it. The next time the atmosphere shifts, or you sense a presence when no one else is around, pause, ask, listen. Because it might not be your imagination, it might be heaven breaking in to remind you that you are not crazy. You are connected. You are being trained to see in the spirit, and these divine glitches are your classroom. Chapter 4. You're seeing truth where others see nothing. Chosen one of the clearest signs that your spirit is awakening is this. You begin to see beneath the surface. Things that once appeared harmless now feel heavy. Situations others deem normal now raise red flags in your spirit. You may not always be able to explain it in words, but your discernment picks it up instantly. Your inner radar is constantly active, scanning, sensing, and receiving truths that others remain blind to. You may look someone in the eyes and immediately feel what their words are trying to conceal. You may hear a gentle tone, yet your spirit detects the manipulation hidden behind the smile. You can walk into a room, and before a single word is spoken, you already know whether peace or confusion resides there. This is not mere emotional reaction, it is spiritual perception. You are no longer just observing your environment. You are reading it on a divine frequency. And this is not paranoia, It is prophetic perception. It is a divine gift, and it is sharpening with each passing day. God is upgrading your vision because He is elevating your assignment. In a world that glorifies image and performance, He is raising up those who can see beyond the mask, and you are one of them. You are not merely watching life unfold. You are interpreting it. You are decoding energies, reading atmospheres, and discerning motives. Your eyes are no longer just physical instruments. They have become tools of truth. And this truth does more than help you understand people. It helps protect you. You see the trap before it is set. You sense the shift before the betrayal arrives. You detect when someone's spirit is out of alignment, even when their words appear flawless. That inner no that rises up when everyone else is saying yes. That is divine protection. That is your discernment sounding the alarm, alerting you that something is not right. And the more you listen to this inner discernment, the more precise it becomes. You are being trained to walk in wisdom, not merely in knowledge, to perceive truth without requiring physical proof. This gift will preserve your life. It will protect you from entering into agreements that appear good on the surface, but are spiritually toxic beneath. It will guide you into divine partnerships, even as the world attempts to lure you into distractions. This gift will empower you to move in silence, while others remain loud and lost. At times, this level of spiritual sight may feel isolating because you will often be the only one in a room who senses that something is off. Others may mock you for being too deep or too serious, but deep down, they know you are perceiving something they cannot see. Your clarity will convict those who have grown comfortable in confusion. But do not shrink. Do not second-guess your knowing. Do not apologize for your vision. Your eyes are bearing witness to what heaven is revealing to you. Even if the world does not understand or agree, this gift is not merely about survival. It is about assignment. You were called to see through deception, and you were chosen to walk in truth. God is entrusting you with spiritual insight because He knows you will neither ignore it nor manipulate it for your own gain. You are not just gifted, you are trustworthy. That is why your discernment is growing stronger. That is why your perception continues to increase. That is why falsehoods make you feel physically uneasy, because your spirit can no longer tolerate what is not true. And as your spiritual frequency rises, clarity follows. What once appeared blurry now becomes unmistakably clear. What once confused you now makes perfect sense. You no longer need words to understand people. Their energy reveals them before they speak. The atmosphere often speaks before anyone opens their mouth. Your eyes have been tuned to a realm where truth cannot hide. Chapter 5. Your night vision is activated. Chosen one, something unusual has been happening to you during the night, and it is not random. You may have noticed flickers of light in a completely dark room, brief flashes even when your eyes are closed, or subtle movements that seem to appear in the stillness. You may find that your vision actually feels sharper in the dark, not with your physical eyes but through your inner sight. These experiences are not accidents and they are not dreams. They are activations. God is awakening your spiritual senses, training you to see beyond natural light and into the hidden dimensions of the night. And He is doing this work in the night hours, when the world is quiet, distractions are minimal, and your body is at rest. It is in these sacred moments that your spirit becomes most alert. This is when divine downloads occur. This is when your soul receives what your mind could not process amid the noise of the day. Your night vision is being activated because God is preparing you to perceive what others overlook in the dark. This is why your dreams are becoming more vivid, more symbolic, and more frequent. You are not merely dreaming at random. You are being shown things. Divine instructions, hidden warnings, and spiritual insights are being delivered to you while you sleep. And even if the dream seems strange or fragmented, your spirit understands. Your eyes are beginning to see into realms that do not depend on sunlight. You are learning to navigate the unseen while the world is at rest. Have you found yourself waking up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., or just before sunrise? That is not insomnia. It is an invitation. These are divine appointments. In those sacred hours, heaven is calling you into moments of clarity. Your spirit is being summoned to receive revelation. During these times, the veil is thinner and the atmosphere is more spiritually open, and God knows He has your attention. You are not being disturbed, you are being downloaded. During these sacred moments, pay close attention. What do you sense in the atmosphere? What images or thoughts flash across your mind's eye before you fully awaken? What subtle vision crosses your spirit just as you drift off to sleep? These are not fleeting bursts of imagination. They are prophetic signals. Your night vision is not about seeing with your physical eyes. It is about perceiving with your spirit while the rest of the world sleeps. In biblical times, some of the greatest revelations came at night, through dreams, visions, and angelic visitations. That same spiritual blueprint is being fulfilled in you. God is still speaking in the dark, and your awakening is unfolding under the cover of night. This is also why you have begun sensing movement in the room even when you are physically alone. Why shadows now feel different. Why you sometimes feel watched, not in fear, but in heightened awareness. Angels are being assigned. Movement is stirring in the spiritual realm, and your eyes are learning to track divine activity even when the lights are off. You are being trained for spiritual warfare, for prophetic insight, and for nighttime intercession. Chosen one, your night vision is both a gift and a weapon in a world that sleeps through the most vital spiritual hours. You are being called to watch, to discern, to stand in the gap, to listen while others dream, and to dream while others simply sleep. You are being entrusted with divine mysteries in the midnight hour, so do not ignore the signs. Keep a journal by your bed. Record what you see, what you hear, and what you feel. Pray when you wake unexpectedly. Meditate when visions stir within you. These moments are not interruptions. They are divine instructions, sacred invitations to deeper awareness and spiritual responsibility. Chapter 6. Your eyes are a beacon. That's why the enemy is intimidated. Chosen one, by now you've likely noticed that your eyes no longer look the same, and you're not the only one who has noticed. People stare at you longer. Some quickly look away. Others avoid your gaze altogether. This shift is not about physical appearance. It is about spiritual presence. There is something in your eyes now, something divine, something piercing, something powerful. Your gaze has become a beacon of light in a world overshadowed by darkness. Your eyes no longer simply reflect your soul, they reveal your calling. They don't merely observe reality, they declare truth. That is why demons take notice. That is why the enemy is intimidated. Because your vision is no longer casual, it is consecrated. It carries the fire of discernment and the authority of heaven. You are no longer just seeing through people, you are seeing through dimensions. You are perceiving what exists in the spirit before it ever manifests in the physical. And this is more than heightened awareness. It is spiritual warfare. Because light does not enter darkness quietly. It exposes, it confronts, and it reveals. Your eyes are now doing exactly that without you ever needing to speak a word. This is why some people suddenly behave differently around you. Why old friends feel distant. Why individuals who were once comfortable in your presence are now unsettled. It's not personal, it's spiritual. Your gaze makes unclean spirits anxious. Your stare disrupts hidden agendas. Your silence carries more weight than many sermons. You don't have to raise your voice because your eyes testify to the truth. And your eyes testify with fire. The enemy understands the power of your vision. That's why he works overtime to make you question it. He tries to convince you that you're imagining things, that your insight is merely paranoia, that the flickers of light, the spiritual signs, and the sudden inner warnings are just figments of your mind. But they are not. They are confirmation. You are not being deceived, you are being developed. You are not hallucinating, you are hearing from heaven through your eyes. You have been marked, and that mark is not just upon your spirit. It is shining through your face, radiating from your eyes, and reflected in your heightened awareness. You are no longer merely existing, you are broadcasting. Every glance, every moment of spiritual clarity, every divine nudge you obey sends ripples through the unseen realm. Angels recognize it, demons recognize it, and so does every unhealed, dishonest, or spiritually bound person around you. The enemy despises the fact that you can see, because those who truly see cannot be easily deceived. They cannot be trapped in cycles. They do not fall for the same old lies, They no longer entertain the same destructive patterns. More importantly, those who truly see begin to expose the systems of deception operating around them. This is why spiritual warfare often intensifies as your discernment sharpens. It's why your dreams become more vivid and weighty. It's why the attacks start to feel more calculated, more specific. The enemy understands that if you can see clearly, you will begin to walk boldly. And if you walk boldly, you will inevitably lead others into truth. So protect your vision. Guard your gaze. Do not dilute your discernment to make others feel at ease. Do not ignore how people respond to your presence. It is not always about you personally. It is often about what your presence reveals. You are a mirror. You reflect light. Not everyone is ready to see themselves with full clarity. Your eyes are no longer merely natural tools. They have become spiritual instruments. And every time you look with intention, you are doing more than simply observing. You are prophesying. Each glance becomes a declaration. Every moment of spiritual clarity becomes a strike against confusion. Every flicker of divine insight is a reminder that heaven has entrusted you to perceive what others choose to ignore. Chapter 7. This is not a sign of madness. It is a sign of mission. Let us set the record straight once and for all. You are not insane. You are not losing your grip on reality, nor are you succumbing to irrational delusions. The sensations you are experiencing, whether visual, emotional, or spiritual, are not figments of your imagination, nor are they indicators of mental instability or confusion. Rather, they signify the beginning of something far greater, the emergence of divine clarity. What you are witnessing is not the breakdown of reason, but the breakthrough of revelation. It is the moment when the heavens begin to unveil their mysteries before your eyes, when the veil between the natural and the supernatural is lifted, and your ordinary perception gives way to extraordinary spiritual insight. You are not being deceived. On the contrary, you are being divinely appointed, not to remain a passive observer on the sidelines of your life, but to step boldly and purposefully into your God-ordained assignment. With your spiritual vision sharpened and your understanding awakened, you are being called to move forward, not in fear, but in faith, with your eyes wide open to the mission set before you. The visions you have been witnessing, the flickering of lights that seem to respond to an unseen rhythm, the vivid dreams that awaken you abruptly in the night, and the heightened perception through which your eyes discern what others overlook. None of these phenomena are random or accidental. They are not symptoms of a breakdown in your mental or emotional state. Rather, they are unmistakable indicators of a profound spiritual breakthrough. You did not request this extraordinary gift, nor did you deliberately seek out this heightened level of awareness. Instead, it was divinely woven into the fabric of your being long before you ever took your first breath. This gift, this sacred sensitivity, was not something you chased. It was something that pursued you, relentlessly and purposefully, because the nature and magnitude of your divine mission demanded it. You have not merely been called to walk in the light for your own benefit. You have been chosen to become a vessel of that light, to carry it within you and release it into a world in desperate need of its illumination. Moreover, your eyes, more specifically your spiritual eyes, are the sacred instruments through which this divine reality becomes possible. It is through the lens of your perception that God is actively confirming your purpose. What you may have once considered a flaw, your heightened sensitivity, is in truth a vital function of your calling. It is not a weakness to be corrected, but a component of your anointing, intentionally designed and divinely bestowed. Your ability to perceive and discern what others are unable or unwilling to see is not a burden to conceal or a source of shame. Rather, it is a sacred trust to be honored and stewarded with reverence. This extraordinary insight was never meant to serve your entertainment or inflate your ego. It was given to you for a far greater purpose, for impact. You have been entrusted with divine intelligence, not by accident, but by intention, in order to fulfill a mission that brings clarity where there is confusion, restoration where there is pain, and illumination where there is darkness. And yes, the weight of this calling will inevitably set you apart. It will at times lead to seasons of isolation. It may even subject you to misunderstanding or ridicule, particularly from those closest to you. People who, in their limited view, may mock or reject what they do not yet comprehend. Yet you must hold fast to this essential truth. Spiritual sight, the ability to perceive beyond the natural into the realm of the divine, often appears as madness to those who remain spiritually asleep or unaware. You cannot and should not expect individuals who are blind to the spiritual dimension to affirm or validate the vision that has been divinely entrusted to you. Do not wait for confirmation, approval, or understanding from those who have not been assigned your mission, who have not heard what you've heard, nor seen what you've seen. Their lack of recognition does not disqualify your calling. It merely highlights the uniqueness of your divine assignment. What you are experiencing is not a fleeting emotional phase, nor is it a temporary psychological reaction to stress or external pressure. It is not a disorder of the mind or instability of the heart. On the contrary, it is a sacred awakening, a profound and irreversible unveiling of spiritual truth. This is the moment where your purpose begins to align with divine timing, and your awareness becomes a gateway to destiny. And in the moments when your spiritual eyes begin to perceive the hidden operations of the unseen realm, when your vision is stretched beyond the limits of the natural, and divine truth begins to flood the deepest chambers of your soul, you will come to recognize that a profound shift has occurred. You will know without question that you have crossed a threshold. You have been activated. At this point, you are no longer merely spiritually aware, you are divinely assigned. Your discernment is no longer passive observation. It has become purposeful engagement. You are now walking not by what your physical eyes behold, but by what your spirit senses and discerns. This is the turning point in the journey, the sacred place where heaven calls you forward and hell attempts to pull you back. It is here that fear often rises, seeking to cloud your confidence and erode your trust in what God has revealed. It is here that the enemy begins to whisper insidious lies, suggesting that you are unstable, irrational, or alone in your experience. It is here that culture, unable to grasp the depth of your perception, may attempt to reduce you with labels, calling you too intense, too emotional, too sensitive, or simply too much. Yet even in the midst of these challenges, the truth remains. You have been called, you have been awakened, and you have been entrusted with a vision far greater than yourself. But listen carefully and take this to heart. Those voices, the doubts, the criticisms, the fear, are nothing more than distractions. They are strategic tools of spiritual warfare, designed with precision to undermine your confidence and weaken your resolve before you fully step into the fullness of your divine calling. Their purpose is not to inform you, but to intimidate you, to cause you to question what you know in your spirit to be true. Do not shrink back in the face of this resistance. Do not allow fear to silence what faith has revealed. And above all, do not doubt what God has already shown you with clarity, intention, and divine authority. What has been revealed to you was not a mistake, a moment of emotional exaggeration, or a passing impression. It was revelation. And now more than ever, you must hold firm to it with boldness and unwavering trust. And if you're still hungry for more chapters to this journey, or a visual concept for a video or thumbnail, just say the word. I'm here and ready to help bring it all to life. Thanks for watching. Here ends this video. Take a moment to like, share, and subscribe if you find this video interesting.